what's up? Billy Saveco here. We are back with another Course of the Week. Special guest this week, Coach Bill Aris, FM, Fayetteville Manlius, one of the best squads in all of NXN history. They've won 11 of the last 14 on the girls' side. Guys won in 2014, both of them. So they have 12 victories at NXN. We're here with a coach right here. Coach, how you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. How you doing, Billy?
Awesome. I'm doing wonderful. Better now I'm talking to you. True legend. So we're going to talk about which park. There's a bunch of famous parks in the New York area. You guys dominate them all. Which one do you have in mind?
Well, I have several that I narrowed down to 5, and I'll give you my top one by a slim margin.
Okay.
The 5 I have were Van Cortlandt, Monroe Woodbury, Vernon Verona Sherrill locally, Warwick High School,
Yep.
and Bowdoin Park. And for a variety of different reasons, those locations all stick in my mind and in my memory and in my heart to some degree, because we've been successful at all of them. Out of all of them, but for 3 different reasons, I give the slight edge to Bowdoin Park. But Bowdoin Park, I would put just as a cut above the rest, because our tradition of success that we've had there in over many years, and because this might not come across in terms of other people's views of it, because most of the time people consider this a very difficult course.
Yeah.
I would say I think it's a fast course, and that belies what a lot of other people would say about it. And I also think it's a challenging course. So tradition, speed, and challenging make it all the way around. I give it a little bit better of an edge compared to all the others. And the other 4 I mentioned all have their great strengths and merits in my book. Personally, our success and difficulty and, as I said, a variety of criteria. But Bowdoin Park I would have to pick as overall my favorite.
Yeah, so those other ones are you said challenging and all the categories, but this one also, like you said, holds a little bit closer to the heart, because this means, I know you guys expect to go to NXM, but this means you actually did it every time at that regional meet. You actually clinched, you're going to go to NXN, and you get to, I think the girls get to understand that all the stuff you've been preaching is actually coming to, full tuition, right?
Yeah, and being that regionals is at Bowdoin Park every year, that's one of the focal points where we've got to be on in order to make it, or else we don't go. Fortunately, we made it every, girls made it every year but 2, and those 2 years were the early years, 04 and 05, and then the boys made it every year but 2, I believe 06 and 07, but we've qualified every year but 2 for both genders.
That's amazing. Talk about the scare factor, or what makes it so intimidating.
Well, I think people can get unnerved unnecessarily, but you especially get unnerved if you're not prepared for the rigors of the course. If you're prepared for the rigors of the course, it's just another course.
Uh-huh.
I've always considered this course a flat and downhill runner's course, despite the hills. Most people consider it a tough course, or at least most people, I've said, because I've heard a lot of people describe it that way, on the hills and whatnot. But I find it a fairly balanced, challenging course, which addresses all of the aspects of cross country.
Great. So if you had to give advice to your girls or your boys, what would you say is the way to attack Bowdoin Park? I don't want to give all your secrets away, but what would you say is, how would you coach them to run that race?
The best way I can describe that is equalize your effort. Run the uphills with the same effort as you're running the flats. Run the downhills with the same effort as you're running the flats. In other words, run the course flat, uphill, downhill with the same perceived effort the whole way. Now, that obviously means that the pace on each is going to be different. The pace on downhill running should be faster than flat.
Yep.
To get the same effort level. The pace on uphill running should be a little slower than either downhill or flat to get the same effort level. So try to equalize the effort level rather than thinking about your pace in the first half, second half, or flats or uphills or downhills, I think is the best way to run it. And that takes time and practice and discipline to as a runner to grasp that.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. Especially as a young runner. Yeah, absolutely. So there's been some pretty big names have run at Bowdoin, and I think like Nick Ryan has the second fastest time ever behind Cheserek. You got Caitlin Neal, you got Jill Flanning, Claire Walters. They're all in the top 20. On those all-time lists. What do you consider as for your team? And then if just for considering someone one of the better runners in the country, on the girls and the guys side, what time do you have to crack into to be at Bowdoin to be like, wow, that person's going to be good, or that person is going to do, be on the next level? Do you have a time frame kind of? Or
actually, I often don't think of it that way, but if I'm looking at results and times, to get that same reaction that you just described for myself when I look at it, clearly if you crack 16 minutes or you're a male at Bowdoin Park, you're running really well and you're pretty good. All right. If you get under 15:45, you're even more so. Nick Ryan was down hovering around 15:30. All right. If you're a girl, getting under 18 minutes there at Bowdoin gets one's attention as a coach or as an athlete. Getting under, in the vicinity of 17:30 does it even more so. So not many people get down in that range, but we're, I'd say under 18 and under 16 rightfully gets people's attention. That's not to say you're chopped liver if you break 19 and you're a girl. There are plenty of, we've had some very good runners that would run somewhere in the mid-18s and be very, very solid runners. And the same goes for guys running under 16:30 or even under 17, but to get in that rare air, it usually means under 16 and under 18.
So when you see Caitlin Toohey has 16:45 and DJ Princeby is 15:18, that's really elite, right? Do you think those will be broken anytime soon?
Well, you can't ever say never. I remember way back when Chuck Millian, St. Anthony's ran 15:40, and people were hovering around for years to try to do that. And finally, we had Tommy Grunwald got right on it and didn't break it. And then Nick and a few others did. And then all of a sudden made it look easy. And then Principe did it and just changed the whole dialogue. The same with Toohey, all of those performances, and I remember them all. All of those performances were outstanding. I was there for just about all of them. But you have some people that are outliers that are just better than others.
Has Bowdoin Park been good at preserving the same course, or is it getting faster, helping these times drop a little bit?
That's a good question. There are years when it runs softer and slower, depending on precipitation and whatnot.
Okay, that's uncontrollable.
But overall, they made subtle changes. I used to call it the monkey bars. There's a kids' play area now that they've reconfigured a few times. It's hard to say whether it runs faster or the same as it used to, because I can't always equate in my memory what the weather conditions were on a certain course versus another. Uh-huh. But I'd say it runs very similar.
Anything else you have to say about Bowdoin Park?
It's always a fun trip for us when we go. Of course, we're not going this year, but in our years when we've had good teams and we were prepared to use it as a stepping stone to make it to nationals, the excitement and the eagerness to go out and perform well, and those memories are fond memories, and kids and coaches remember them well. I'd say the same about Manhattan when we've gone there and run really well at Van Cortlandt. And, there are a few others out there, state meet courses and whatnot that I mentioned to you earlier that I really like. But Bowdoin has been kind of the consistent one over many, many years.
Absolutely. All right. Well, hey, thank you so much, Coach. That was amazing insight from, one of the best, maybe the best to ever do it. I really appreciate you. Love chopping it up with you. And thanks for everything.
Thanks a lot. And by the way, your name is an excellent name, I have to add, without any bias to that whatsoever. Bill is a great name.
Bill times two right here.
Yeah, you got it.
I'm Bill. He's Bill. And that's it for Course of the Week. Thank you so much to Coach Bill Aris of FM, the most winningest program in NXN history. Incredible. Such great insight there. That's it for Bowdoin Park. You guys have a course you think is cool, hard, fast? Comment below. Maybe we'll feature it on next week's Course of the Week. And we'll see you there. All right, guys. Bye.